Man leads police on nearly hour-long chase through Los Angeles. A reckless driver in a stolen car led the Los Angeles Police Department on a wild chase through Los Angeles County. Friday, September 20th, 2024. The chase, which began after an LAPD traffic stop near San Pedro, escalated through multiple neighborhoods as the suspect recklessly navigated city streets and freeways. The car, believed to be stolen, was seen driving at high speeds on surface streets, swerving through intersections, driving on the wrong side of the street, and even driving on sidewalks. During the chase, the passenger door of the car was seen opening before the female passenger later jumped out of the car near the intersection of Redondo Boulevard and Willow Street in Long Beach. The suspect also drove his vehicle over the median and into oncoming traffic. The suspect continued to drive erratically, at one point speeding on sidewalks and driving on the wrong side of the road.
LAPD still in charge of this chase. That door open, you can clearly see it right there. That passenger ready to jump out. Well, jump out, just kind of got out of the car. Standing there, I'm sure it's one of those officers who's going to ask that lady if she needs a little help and maybe have some information about that driver. But clearly you saw that passenger getting out. I don't know if this is where that driver says, okay, you know what, that was my conscience. Now I'm just going to go ahead and drive a little crazier, because a lot of times you got to wonder when these chases are going on, especially if there's more than one person in the car, if one of the people in there is maybe the voice of reason. Right now, though, you can see it, that vehicle driving a lot faster ever since that lady got out of that vehicle, making a hard turn there. LAPD still in pursuit, though. Got cars on the ground, helicopter in the air. We're right next to Long Beach Airport, so Jeff's job is going to be a little bit tougher right now. And when I say Jeff, I mean my pilot this afternoon. He's at the tiller of Skyfox, and he's got to work with airspace and that other PD helicopter, so we might have a little bit of an issue where it's going to get a little bit farther away. Talking about the airport, there's the runway right there. Going through that tunnel, we're going to have to cross over. Let's see if we can do it. The tower holding us right now, but that car, man, it's already on the other side. Let's take a look at some of those speeds. Up into the 90s. Oh, hard brakes, hard brakes. Ooh. And you know that car was just getting over the curb right there, and then it's just continuing on. That was really something. You know that driver saw something that we didn't. It probably was all that stop traffic and those high speeds. But it gives you an idea that that little car, not that maneuverable. Those brakes, you saw how long it took for that vehicle to stop. That's a lesson for a lot of the folks out there when you're speeding. But that pursuit continuing on out here, you can read the streets for yourself. That's on Lakewood right now. LAPD, they're still right behind it. And I'm telling you, they're also talking, believe it or not, if it gets back into the city. Right now it's in the Long Beach, but if it gets back into their jurisdiction, they already have some other plans that might bring this pursuit to an end. They've got some tricks in their bag.
Well, this car is just driving beyond reckless. It's just you're holding your breath watching this car. Before we even joined you, we were keeping an eye on things, and we saw this vehicle blow through intersections, going at speeds of up to 60 miles per hour, driving on the shoulder of the exit there on the freeway on the 405, trying to make its way across and out of traffic. It's going in all kinds of directions. You're seeing it right now. As soon as this passenger was let out of the car, which we witnessed just a few moments ago, it seems like the driver became even more reckless, Stu.
Definitely. You saw that woman, probably the voice of reason. That's an old Pontiac vibe. They haven't seen one of those just driving in a long time, more or less, in a chase. Look at those high speeds, those 60 miles an hour, talking about blowing red lights. We just saw this vehicle do that just now. A little bit of a hard turn there. Probably got some traffic up ahead. I'm going to stay a little bit wider so we can keep an eye on what's going on. Looks like another solid red right there, making that decision, making a bad decision, getting onto the wrong side of the road. That LAPD officer, though, staying on the right side of the road. I wonder if they're going to try to cross over, what was going to happen then, but you can see all that traffic, that vibe continuing to stay on the wrong side of the road. LAPD going around. Oh, look at these guys. They really want to bring this thing to an end. Stolen vehicle. That's good. You know, you hear that sometimes and you just wonder, well, it's a Pontiac vibe. You know, why not? But you just kind of wonder. There's got to be something else to it. That driver right there, very agitated. We've been taking, oh my gosh, I'm sorry, guys. We've been taking a look at these shots every now and then. then. And it has been interesting to see that driver in there, very agitated, with looking around and not paying attention clearly, but not as much as you'd hope. Looking around, trying to see what's going on around him. You don't want a driver that's driving at 80 miles an hour on surface streets, running red lights. Very dangerous. Another unusual hard turn right there, going into a neighborhood. I kind of wonder why they did that. It's one of those ones where, you stop trying to wonder why, Stu. Just kind of watch it. But this driver's continuing to try to get away. These high speeds, though, very dangerous. I'm pretty worried about public safety and, of course, that driver as well.
Yeah, public safety, absolutely. I mean, it just takes one moment, someone to step out onto the roadway. And when you're talking about someone going on the wrong side of the street, wow, look at that maneuver.
On the sidewalk.
Yeah. On the sidewalk.
Yeah.
I saw him several times going in and out of parking lots, too, to make quick exits. So the LAPD is trailing this guy, right? So we've got the LAPD. Is the CHP involved as well?
With CHP not involved, they were going to try to hand it off when it was onto the. I don't even want to poke any kind of fun at this one. This one is just too dangerous. That hard turn into the oncoming traffic, high speeds, and plus that LAPD, they kind of got dropped back a little bit. I'm not sure if they're dropping out altogether. I can tell you the helicopter not letting this go. Another red light. I thought he was going to try to join traffic. He actually weaved his way through there. That little car just making its way this afternoon. That driver, you know what? If he's got luck in the bank, he is running low right now. They continuing on, but now at least he's looking forward for most of the driving. Let me go a little bit wider. I'm trying to hear on the scanner if they actually are staying behind it. I know that helicopter's still above it, but again, you got to wonder, why is he continuing to be so reckless? Why is he keeping up these high speeds? There is nobody behind him. That guy in that center, in that gore point, you got to wonder what that guy was thinking, having this car rushing towards him. There we go. LAPD back into the chase, and keep matching the energy of that driver. This is really something to watch this afternoon. LAPD, those guys trained in these type of pursuits, trained for high-speed driving. That driver, that vibe, probably not so much. And we saw how poor the performance is at high speeds if that vehicle tries to stop or even tries to make a quick lane change. We've seen this thing sliding all. My gosh.
Oh my gosh. He's just gliding.
He's
gliding. It's almost like you're watching someone on the ice, right? The way he's just gliding in and out of lanes there.
Yes, definitely, and it also kind of gives you this feeling that he may have no control, like serious control of that vehicle, especially at those high speeds. I am concerned clearly of all the public involved, and then after that, definitely about that driver. Keeping an eye on him there. This is one of those times where we can really get a close shot of him. You can see him. It seems to be a white male behind the wheel, and just driving. And when I do those tight shots, every now and then you'll get a glimpse of what's flying by him. Those are other vehicles. If right now we're down to about 50 miles an hour, that's probably, he might be trying to do a pit. That officer might actually be trying to do a pit.
Awfully close to the vehicle. He is matching the energy of that driver. Sometimes when the chase gets too dangerous, we see police back off, right? They don't want to endanger the public. But in this case, it's interesting to see that the police vehicle is trying to basically catch up, perhaps do a pit maneuver on this vehicle. And there you go.
Just, maybe it's a pit, maybe it's command presence. Who knows? But that what's going on there? What's going on there? Making a turn. I don't know if he's making a U-turn. We got some trees in the way. I guess he's continuing on, just following the LAPD. Let's see what happens right there. Yep, there he goes. But you can see him just moving around, very agitated in that driver's seat, just zipping around, looking back and forth. It also looks like it might be a bicycle or a wheelchair in that back of that car. Just more questions. We'll just keep coming out here. But this driving, I'm just saying, if he's got an angel with him, that angel's going to be having working overtime, keeping everybody else safe, going on the wrong side of the road again. And, you're right. You just kind of wonder, LAPD so many times in the past, because of the policies and the changes, and stolen vehicle, you got to wonder, why are they continuing on with this chase when, you know, a lot of times they could just follow along. You know, this is one of those ones, driving across the curb, getting onto one of those little side streets right there, making his way into a neighborhood. He is starting to put the little space between him. Well, I guess not. One of those LAPD officers not even giving up at all. But it does look like maybe he's looking for a place to pull over. We saw him I just saw him make that little kind of like getting over to the curb type of thing. Maybe this is an area that he knows, but I can tell you, LAPD getting very, very close. A little bit of a dead end. There you go. Out and running.
And the car's still on.
And running. Yep, car's still going, but it's kind of bumped into some gating right there. Wow, look at this guy go 15 miles an hour. I love Skyfox and Attack. He's holding it. I couldn't do that. I'm out of breath just watching. And he's continuing on. Oh, my goodness. Well, you know what? That wheelchair, definitely not for him. If that was in the back of that car, I can tell you that. And, you know, this is one of the ones. He's running through that neighborhood. LAPD not going to be able to follow with a car. I can hear the helicopter calling out streets. They're going to keep an eye on it. This might turn into something else. And the speeds of this guy, look at this. Like, oh my goodness. He's slowing down a little bit, but how long has he been running? Almost 30 seconds, maybe a minute flat out. This guy has got some energy. That is for sure. LAPD, though, I hear the ship in my other ear. He's calling out locations and streets. I know there's a black and white might be getting close by. Now my concern is if he tries to get into somebody's home. What? There's an LAPD officer behind him. Oh my gosh. How far has this guy been running? Oh, this is you know what? I think in the end they're just going to call up. Taser's out for sure. And he's going to tase him.
Oh,
tase him on the run.
Oh.
Boom!
Oh, got him.
Right behind a tree. Always behind a tree. There you go. But he's here. They got him down. I do not think they tased him. They get the credit due to them for getting this guy into custody. And again, thank goodness, no injuries to anybody. What a wild ride this afternoon.
That was every time we do pursuits, Stu. I always say, well, that was a new
suspect in custody there on the ground. This is in a neighborhood out here in the Norwalk, Cerritos area. So we're not even outside of Long Beach. They're picking him up. There's some black and whites that have arrived right there. That's probably going to be his ride back to the Harbor Division. But again, this pursuit coming to an end. Nobody injured. Amazing work on LAPD's part for sure, keeping up with it and keeping the public safe. And that woman, kind of curious myself, don't know how she fit into it, but once she got out of that car, it was really on and cracking. That driver really kind of pulled out all the stops. And again, in the end, in custody.
Yeah.